Today we're taking a look at the Godox V1 Mid. I've got the Fujifilm model. It's also available for Sony, Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Olympus, but no sign of Pentax yet as far as I know. Let us know if you know anything else. This thing is going for about £175 and it could be a fair compromise, especially if you're looking for something smaller and lighter that can still get the job done. Let's check it out. So we've got the manual and the compatible model list. We've got the battery, which is a new battery for the system as far as I'm aware, at least compared to the ones that I'm using. VB22. This has less power, but it has USB-C charging, which is very, very interesting. In here we have a plug for said charging. Very good. We have the cable for said charging. We have the good old silica gel and of course the case. First problem, no belt loop, very disappointing. Otherwise the case is nice, happy with that. Otherwise inside we've got the mount and I'm seeing a nice little lock on the flash unit, so that is pretty sturdy. And of course we've got the screw thread there. Let me pop that battery in actually, although we're going to run through the menu afterwards. It should all be very familiar. Let's just line that up. Doesn't seem to have anything to hold it, so pull that and then that is a little bit mid. Try not to use that phrase. Round head, 2-inch touch screen. If we power it on, we've got to rotate and then we can deal with, well, there we go. We can get that all set up shortly. And if we go to zoom, 16 to 69, I wonder if that's a crop thing because the spec says 24 to 105. Maybe it's a crop thing. We'll find out. Touchscreen feels fine. It's not too bad. On this side we have USB-C port for firmware updates, PC socket. It's an interesting texture across this thing, but it is extremely light, so there's not a fat lot else going on. Just your little sensor down there. This does offer TTL, of course, as well as manual, multi, and HSS up to 1/8000 of a second. Weighs 413 grams with the battery. That is a key feature of this thing. Max power 55 watts per second. Recycle time 1.7 seconds, and that's at full power. Flash duration 1/300 to 1/20,000. You know, that is basically a lot. It's nice, it's simple. Also, the head, which is good for me, turns a pretty decent amount because I'm into my bounce flash and I can turn, I don't know if that's 270. It turns a lot, which is really good for my style of flash. Quick look at the touch screen. I think it's pretty nifty. Screen works basically like your average smartphone screen. Once you get used to it, menus pretty straightforward. Locking, let's get back out of this. He says straightforward, you got to get used to it. There we go. And you can always go back to home there if you get completely stuck and switch around there. Okay. And if you want to lock, I like this, you just hit there and then you're locked unless you hold this down and then you're unlocked. Pretty cool. And as always, there's a little sync over there, not too much going on. Do like the fact that you've got a few physical buttons at least. Naturally you're going to be a bit stuck if you're using this outdoors in the winter with gloves on, but you know, we're all used to smartphones and the likes. You might have some funky gloves, but yeah, happy with that. Pretty easy to use, pretty simple, and not much else that we need to say. There's plenty of videos, well, a few videos online which go into the absolute depth of all these bits and pieces, the multi, the sync, etc. But yeah, I am happy with that. How do we feel about the build and handling then? Well, on my XT4 it balances really well. Obviously it's a bit wonky on my XE5, but I definitely notice the weight saving. I'm very happy with the rotating head, and now it's a round head. It's fully compatible with my AK-R1 accessory kit that I've got right here. I should make a video about that maybe. What do you reckon? Let us know. Really happy with the build quality. Everything that's there is quite minimal, fits and feels real good. The flash delivers 55 watts per second compared to the 76 of the V1. So unless you're trying to overpower the strongest midday sun, you won't notice. That is something that affects us wedding photographers, but this is more than good enough for us, at least in the UK. Anyway, the TTL, importantly, is consistent. At full power, the recycling is about 1.7 seconds, slightly slower than the V1 Pro, but again, for what I would use it for, weddings and the like, spot on. Now, I've never had issues with the battery power with any of my Godox flashes, as far as I can recall. But yeah, I admit this is much more practical with that USB-C port. So if you're caught out with a dying battery and you've only got a power bank, which a lot of you will have, then you're good to go. But for me, you get plenty of battery power for this to last a good few shoots, though I always charge everything and carry backups just in case. That's the pro thing to do, frankly. Now, I've been looking at the AK-R1 kit and it works really well with the V1 mid. I'm glad I've got it. It comes really well packed. I love this hard case. Easy to carry to shoots, so why not? What don't I like then? Well, the modeling lamp is a bit weak compared to the V1 Pro. It's not a huge problem. It will help with focus in dark rooms, but I'm not interested in using it for video as some do, so that's a minor for me. As always, as I said, I wish the case had a loop, but that's about it. I'm pretty happy with this mid release from Godox. But you know, overall, I think it's a very happy compromise. It offers plenty to work with and isn't so heavy on the camera. It's more than good enough for most flash users, especially weddings, events, portrait photographers who shoot on the go, out and about, and need to keep the weight down but still have more than enough usable power and flexibility with something like the AK-R1 kit. Now, if you want to use a softbox, you can use the S3 speedlight bracket for Bowens that I've got. It's a quality bit of kit. It's a very welcome addition to my setup. So is it worth your money? Well, this is a curious one. The flash is going for around £175 and the V1 is £189. So for £14 more, you get half a stop more power, 0.2 second faster recycling, global shutter if you're a Sony shooter. It does weigh 117 grams more. The widest zoom is 4mm less, and you don't get the battery with direct USB-C charging. Basically, the mid is more than enough for most of us. It's not much of a price difference, but actually some of that might be an advantage to you. So, you know what? On that basis, yeah, it's worth it. Fair play, Godox, even if you're not watching this video.